So checking out historic train engine 1024, the Prairie Schooner. Right here on the top of Train Hill in La Junta, located just on the side of US Highway 50. Next time you pass through town, take that minute to come around the corner and up the hill and check out this train. If you need to stretch while you're here, take a little walk down that brick and tile park.
Yes.
And if you know where there's a railroad wigwam style signal, City of La Junta is very interested in adding it to this display, right, Rick?
Yes, sir.
All right, very cool. We're going to walk the brick and tile trail with you folks and show you how to get to the top of Train Hill on foot from 10th Street and walk you through that history, as today is history in La Junta. We're here with former city manager Rick Klein at the Brick and Tile Trail. This is part of the new park kind of complex that's been put in here by the city. Tell us give us a brief overview, if you would, Rick, before we walk the trail with our viewers.
Well, the question is why did we name it the La Junta Brick and Tile Park and Trail?
Right.
Now, the reason why is there was a gentleman named James McNean that back in 1886, 87, there's some articles, and La Junta already had a brickyard, but that man just had started it, and we couldn't really find the history on it. But McNean, he built, by 1887, he had went out to Chicago and got brick farms and tile farms, and he started producing brick. And these brick, by 1887, he had a contract to build the commercial block down around La Junta.
Oh, okay.
Now, also, all the sugar factories were built out of that, and it lasted all the way with McNean up to 1919. Then he sold it to a person who kind of, made it work for a while, but when after the Depression, it kind of went downhill, and so did a lot of them back then. Now, Mr. McNean was he came in La Junta in 1886 and opened up a lumber yard. And that lumber yard was right across the street on Colorado between 2nd and 3rd, right up from Seco News.
Oh, there you go.
And across from the courthouse, right about the middle of the block.
Oh, wow.
And he opened up a second site on the western side of La Junta, and we will be looking at their administration building because it's along the trail. And along this trail, there is unique history that we're going to go over, and I hope that you enjoy it as much as Adrian and I will be filming it.
We've actually been planning this for a long time.
Long time.
Of course, if you watch the video of them putting the bridges in, I allude to we're going to walk across that bridge when it's ready. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to walk through the history of the La Junta Brick and Tile Trail as we do that. So you're going to have to keep up with me.
Okay. So, as you're looking ahead and you're looking at the park, right about mid-level of the park, there was a line, that railroad line that came across, and it came all the way across 10th Street. Now, you got to remember, 10th Street wasn't put in until your 70s. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so let's start down the trail, Adrian.
There we go. So here's the bridge. Now,
there's rules.
Exactly. We could see the little
the ballard
that you guys had to put in. Thank you for helping me with the technical terms, Rick.
Yeah, and it's a removable ballard in case we have vents where we need to do it. But we don't want motorized vehicles going down the trail. I know we had a golf cart go down it, and that disturbed a lot of people. And so, but no camping, no loitering, no motorized vehicles. Pets must be on a leash. Please remove your pet waste from the trail. Bicyclists, yield to your walkers, please, and dispose of all your trash. I do know that they did get a cleanup committee going, and when you see that, join in, and let's make this trail something that La Junta can be proud of for decades to come.
One of the things I want to mention right off the bat that you notice is that it's paved.
Paved.
And so, I mean, that gives access.
8 to 10 feet wide.
Okay, and that makes it totally accessible for the handicapped.
Guaranteed. This is a ADA accessible trail and park. The trail itself, you can make it all the way from 10th and Barnes down to the train on the hill at 1st and Barnes.
All right.
Yes.
Very cool.
And I just love the bridge, don't you?
Yeah, it is nice.
It just doesn't look like the area that we've noticed for decades here that was not being utilized.
Exactly. It was just kind of an empty lot with a bunch of debris and overgrowth.
That's right. Yeah.
And now it's totally utilized. If you come here any day of the week, you're going to see kids playing on this park. Just here in a few short weeks, it's going to be constant. Because summertime.
Yes. Well, even now, I've really noticed, and I noticed the amount of people walking the trail. And I just want to thank all the families that are getting out with your kids or with your grandparents and stuff, and getting them out of their houses and stuff.
Yeah.
That really is important. Now, how did we start about doing this? You know, if you were around about 10 years ago, you saw where the city of Lahaina teamed up with Southeast Health Group.
Right.
We hosted some
the mud run, right?
Mud runs, and
Yeah.
that's how we started to clean out the trail. And Barry Shost, he was the CFO, and I was the manager at the time. And we started in, and we did that for about 5 years. And we noticed that by the time we were done, we had over 300 people that were coming to the event. And so we knew that if we got some type of recreation opportunities along the trail, along the Arroyo,
Yeah.
the Anderson Arroyo, that it would be very beneficial. Little did we know that it was still just covered up the history of the brick and tile rail line.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the city shops right at 5th and Gardner was
Right.
where the actual plant was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So, very cool. And the trail does go right by it.
that's right.
Yep.
Now, you know, think about Mr. McNean back in 1887, and here he gets a contract to start building our downtown square, some of the buildings. But remember, a year before, he'd already had built a lumber yard and down across from there. So
Okay.
he was an owner of some of these lands.
Okay.
You know, with the history, as you talk about the Rourke Theater and stuff, it was actually a group of men, and Mr. McNean was part of it,
Okay.
that made the hunt to work.
Wow.
And those were our early forefathers coming through.
Okay.
Now, here we are in the Brick and Tile Park. Now, this is an intergenerational park that kids of all abilities can come and play. We have integrated things for kids in wheelchairs, like swings. They even have their own swing where the parents or siblings or their buddies can get right next to them, and they can do it all by themselves. We have a rocker over there. We even have a merry-go-round where they could come up into and play with their friends.
Oh, that is cool.
On
Wheelchair accessible merry-go-round.
Then on the other side of the the jungle gym that I just love
that ninja course.
is the American Ninja course, and it's a
Yeah.
youth training course.
Yeah.
And it would just do us so good to see some kid from Lahaina, Colorado getting up there and winning that one day. From the Arkansas Valley.
And they got the course right here to practice.
And we
on.
got the course right here to practice.
Okay, how cool is
So-
that?
But there was a rail line that came across.
Oh yeah, and
all the way across the park.
Mhm.
And it went across 10th Street to where, well, the disc golf course, but the Clay Hills.
oh yeah,
Now, the Clay Hills was where they would mine the clay.
and
Now,
that's the clay that they would use in manufacturing the bricks, right?
That's exactly right.
Right.
And
So it makes sense that the factory is right next to the source.
Yes. And out of the back side of the building that you see through the gazebo, that's where the line came out, and it was hauled by donkeys coming all the way through, and then it went across 10th Street, and they would be on the track, and it would have a loop. Now, if you look inside of the clay hills, you'll notice like a hump and down. You know, I remember riding with the motorcycle, never knew what it was.
Right.
That was a terrace, a trestle.
Okay.
Where it was built up, and they had a track over it. So the mules that were inside of the clay hills, they had what they called slips, where it would scrape up the clay. Then they'd come up over this trestle. Well, they had a line underneath it where a mule would come and take a container, and they would drop all that material in, and they'd haul it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was kind of a unique operation.
And where they have that trestle that overhangs where they're lowering their product, it sounds like the beet dumps almost, right?
Yes.
The same concept.
Same concept.
Yep. And that was amazing to me to find out that the majority of the towns in southeast Colorado are actually named after beet dumps on the rail line. Really, I mean, that's crazy.
You know,
very cool.
Yeah, the railroad has had such an impact on us, even with the rail line coming off of here. If we wouldn't have that rail line come through La Junta, you know,
La Junta wouldn't be here.
we wouldn't be here. You know,
Yeah.
So we'd still be in that cultural area, though.
Yeah. I don't know how they get the product anywhere, but
you can't get the product anywhere.
Yeah. So
So
we need
here
that
we are.
rail.
Now we're back on to right about where the Brickyard trail actually was going through.
Okay.
Now we've developed a parking lot at 8th and Nevada.
Okay.
So
So there's an
you know,
extra
there's
parking
an
area.
extra, parking area. You could also park right behind Valleywide now,
Yep.
and because that is all the way, that concrete part is Anderson. So you have 3 access points to hit this park, and they'll be developing more.
Okay.
To the right.
Well, we
yeah,
can see our security here. We've got
Yes.
a security camera.
we do got security cameras
and
up.
we do have, it looks solar powered, and
Yep.
that looks like a fancy setup to me.
Yes, and we also have cameras on the park itself.
Let's turn around here.
So
Sorry to make you guys dizzy with the scrolling one way and the other at the same time. So yeah, go ahead.
we are making sure that we keep everybody safe. If you've seen this park at night, it is so lit up and so beautiful. Yeah, so
Okay.
come day or
And
night,
it's like the other parks. It's open till 10 p.m.
10:30. 10:30.
10:30.
I believe so.
30 minutes on it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Okay. So, but you remember how I talked about that Mr. McMean had 2 lumber yards, the one on Colorado
Right. And he had
the
the
one
one-
on the western side.
Okay.
The one on the western side is right over here.
Oh, okay.
And that was his land also. So see, he must have had some money because, you know, if
Yeah.
he bought that land right there at on Colorado, and then he bought some land over here and opened up 2 lumber yards, okay, he had to have some capital back then.
Exactly.
So,
and he's literally supplying what built La Junta.
Yes, even on the lumber side. So I'm sure that man made some money pretty fast.
Yeah. Now this is a beautiful
love this
bridge.
bridge, yes.
Very nice. It's tall. No concerns for the kids climbing over that.
Nope.
Nice handrails. Beautiful smooth pavement. Can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
Very nice.
Yeah. Now this sector in here was a jungle when we first started.
Absolutely.
And you know, we talk about the homeless along the trail. And, when we first started cleaning this out, we did find homeless
Yeah.
along here. You know, never did find any snakes or anything. A lot of feral cats, but
Okay.
and a couple skunks, but nothing that changed our mind about what we were doing and trying to create. How are you?
Morning, guys.
How are you?
Doing good.
Now we do have a trailhead right here at Valleywide.
Okay.
And that's right about 8th and Lawrence Avenue.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Right close to their physical therapy stuff. So very cool.
Across from the center. Now, there is a old brick building that is right over here
Okay.
behind these trees. Now,
Okay.
you really can't see but a little bit of it left.
Oh, okay. I
Okay.
could see there's a little bit of foundation
So
right there, wall.
Mr. McMean had his lumber yard there.
Okay.
And there was a flat area that, you know, where he'd stored lumber. But he had a line that went all the way across. And you see the opening in that building, the Brickyard building.
Yeah.
And that he would take, and they had pulleys, and he would send messages back and forth that way to the Brickyard.
Okay.
You know, as he was doing
He'd give his working orders that way from the office,
yeah,
if you will,
you know,
huh?
Yeah. Ain't that kind of funny?
That is kind of funny. That's wild, though. You don't think about the limitations of technology back in the 1800s, because we're talking
Sure.
1870s, 1880s,
1886.
1886.
1886, 1887, you know, right out, you know, La Junta, it became a town.
Yeah, not much longer past the Bensold Fort days, man.
Yes. Now, you know, you see the kiln. Now, there was like 4
Oh,
little
there we
kilns
go.
that were right there.
And these bricks laying here by chance? Are they just old
They're just,
construction
you know,
stuff?
that was their waste pile.
Okay.
Okay, so, you know, but they did a certain type of brick for CF&I steel, and they were a fire brick.
Okay,
And
let's
they
look
would,
at the kiln.
They would put them in these kilns to help cure them. You know, I guess the fire brick needed some type of different process than like a regular brick that you use for
Right.
masonry buildings.
Maybe needed
and
more
stuff
heat
like
or
that.
something, right?
Yeah. At first, I always thought it was for the tile, but then read an article where the tile was actually within one of the buildings. And that tile that these guys produced is still throughout the Arkansas Valley.
Wow.
As far as underground drainages on some of the farms, and they were put in by 1902.
Wow. So that is right prior to that's right at the time of the sugar beet factories getting put up all over southeast Colorado, well, all over Colorado.
I mean, he was producing, once he got that one press, something like 20,000 bricks a day.
Oh,
And
man.
he kept expanding it out, and I think his peak was about 50,000 bricks a day. You
Wow.
know? But that was a short time, and then you know, things were changing real fast.
Very
So,
cool.
Yes.
So back on the brick and tile trail, we're going to walk up and we're going to talk about the actual factory right up here. So Rick, go ahead and get right into that history, man.
So as this was the original building, and as he expanded out to the west, because, you know, you had the Anderson Arroyo right there that limited him going further east.
Right.
And as you look over to this property here, there were 3 round big silos, kilns that they would use to store the tile and stuff in, you know, when they were making it, steaming it.
Okay.
And but by 1919, Mr. McNean was about 70 years old. And so he sold it to this Mayhew guy from Denver, who didn't operate it very well.
Okay.
But one of the things I want to show you, you know, about this unique history is you'll see along in here there's some piles of rocks, and that's alabaster.
Okay.
And way back, they were saying about how they made these bases and lamps out of alabaster in La Junta. And when we were cleaning it up, we ran into the spoils pile that the gentleman who was making all those back in the 1890s and stuff, where he just dumped it.
Yeah.
And,
So it's a trash pile, if
it
you will.
was a trash pile. There's some unique rock. It's real soft unless you put some type of oil on it and stuff, and then it gets real kind of hard.
Cool.
And but that's something that I enjoy seeing, just because I know that was a part of La Junta's rich history.
And the other thing I want to mention is we're looking at this prior to the landscaping.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Mile High Youth Corps,
Yes.
GoCo, we've been running Help Wanted ads for them, getting that Youth Corps built, and they're going to come out here and do the landscaping. They're going to
Yes.
plant some trees, plant some shrubs. I'm not sure what all they've got in mind, but we're going to be along for the ride.
Right, and folks, it'll take about 10 years to change out all the landscaping and stuff. We've cleaned this arroyo out about 3 times now, and as you can see, the trees come back and stuff.
Yeah.
But around the brick and tile park, you can see that we did get a handle on it, and we'll get a handle on it. It'll just take some time to do it.
Yep, exactly. So we'll be there to kind of catalog and watch. While we were talking, I was thinking that, man, people are going to go back and watch this video 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, and they're going to be amazed at how much it's changed.
Yes, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
Become a part of the trail.
Absolutely.
Now, the area that we're walking along in here, there was a line that they would store the railroad cars on full of the product. And then they would take the product off of this line and take it on down to the railroad and put it on railroad cars and ship it out.
Okay.
Yes. But I'm going to show you about what their backhaul was. They had a backhaul of fuel oil. And it was the fuel oil that was distributed throughout La Junta back in the 1890s.
Oh, wow.
From one location in La Junta, and that building is still there.
Wow.
So stay tuned.
I thought there'd be some history on this walk, Rick, but I'll admit I'm a little bit impressed. I'm a lot impressed by the amount of history. And now you guys are gonna, after the landscaping gets rolling, there is a plan to put some markers up so that people can read about the history as they walk the trail, right?
Yes, and they should be up by August.
Okay.
Now, they kind of want to get a handle on some of the landscaping and stuff, and
Absolutely.
The wording on the signs itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you see there's a pole in front of this bench, and if you without the trees, you'd see there's another pole across there. Now, that was part of the mud run that Barry and I were helping out with. And what we did was strung 2 cables across from there across the arroyo, and you had to grab the top one and then put your feet on the other one and cross that.
Oh, okay.
So you
had a zip line built in there.
Well, kind of like one of those walking ones. And,
Okay,
stuff. But it wasn't for the weak. I will tell you that.
Not for the faint of heart.
Not the faint of heart at all.
Crossing the arroyo here in La Junta.
So, something that is unique about La Junta's history is, I found a map where it showed the original contours. And once we got over, I looked at it over on the Maple side. As you stop right there and you see all that shale right in front of you, and you can see it kind of go down, all the way down, and it's kind of like a V cone coming down. Well, that was a big old head cut from Carson Avenue all the way down to here, and they filled all that up to build 6th Street.
Okay.
Along through there. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. There's just kind of layers underneath the layers.
Same thing at 5th Street. It was just a big head cut.
Yeah.
And they filled it in, put the pots in and everything.
Wow.
And built the bridge at the bottom.
Yeah.
So when we were first exposing this, we ran into some of the old rail line that was laid right along the edge here.
Okay.
And stuff. Now, folks, it was over 100 years old. It just broke up.
Yeah.
I mean,
It disintegrated when you lifted it.
It was, just kind of mangled.
Not something
because
you could preserve.
It wasn't really your heavy rail or anything. So, yeah, you got to remember one of the containers that they used to use, or I'm not sure if it was, but the type is right in front of the Valley Trading Post.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that little flat deal. So
they
weren't getting much product, but you got to remember, one mule.
Oh yeah, only one mule hauling it. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Wow.
right now,
So a couple hundred years ago, this would be, we'd have mules and guys running the mules,
That's right.
hauling the sled full of the bricks, and
he kept
here,
the
we'll turn
mules
around
right
here.
across.
Sorry about the.
Yeah, he kept the mules right across where the Brickyard was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
cool.
as you see on this side, there's big chunks of concrete and piers, and they were from the Brickyard itself.
Wow. How cool.
One year we had part of the building fall in on the plant on the north side.
Okay.
And when they tore it down to rebuild it, and underneath that floor that they had a brick channel underneath it that was still looked true as the date was put in.
Oh, wow.
It was just so beautiful.
Cool.
But you know, with modern stuff, you got to have
Yep, got to be up to code.
Have to be up to code.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Wow.
now,
Beautiful day for it.
beautiful day.
A little breezy, but hey, can't complain for the little breeze in the spring in southeast Colorado.
That's right.
So we're coming up to 5th Street, right?
Here we are coming up to 5th Street. Now, you know, one of the things that is off to your left is one of our substations, electric substations.
Okay.
You know, don't ever climb the fence and go over.
Exactly. Yeah, it's there for a good reason, to keep the public safe.
That's right. Well, and to keep the lights on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was proud of the city when we went and put a new substation in to make our electric services more reliable.
Right. Cool.
And hopefully everybody kind of remembers running up and down this with mud sport, or running back up through the arroyo.
So this trail really crosses a lot of the main thoroughways of La Junta. Starting at 10th, 5th, and 3rd. Those are kind of our arterial streets anyways.
Right, and you don't really cross 10th Street, but on 5th and 3rd you will be crossing the street. We have stop signs on both sides.
Okay.
And we do have the meltdowns, is what they call them, as far as for crosswalks.
Right.
But if you see somebody walking on the trail, be kind, stop, let them go across, and then continue on with your journey.
Yeah, be courteous. And of course, if you're walking the trail, watch for traffic when you're crossing the road, right?
Oh, guaranteed.
We look left, we look right back again, something like that. Looks clear.
Then we come on across. Now, you'll notice that at 5th and 3rd Street, we put benches.
Yeah.
Now, I was so proud
Here's
of
our bench.
of Brock Inc. House and the citizens that came forward, because we only put a couple of benches out until we saw what the people wanted. And what they were saying was, hey, sometimes my dad can't walk all the way on that trail, but I can pick him up at 5th or 3rd or something. So, you know, or you can just break up your walk and get it all done.
Wow.
So,
very nice.
yes, I thought that was a very unique way to do it. Gives opportunity to people who don't have the stamina to walk up and down the trail like this. Now the trail is about 3/4 of a mile long if you walk from the bathroom all the way to the train, past the kiosk, around to the train, and then back. And then you're going to be at 0.75.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah.
Now,
So I know how people want to know, hey, how far?
jogging and bicycling, that's okay. It's just no
guaranteed.
motorized vehicles, right?
Right. That's right. And I mean, I've seen e-bikes on here and stuff like that. They're little motorized scooters,
Yeah.
you know, but just be kind, you know, and make sure that we're being courteous, you know, to everybody.
Yep. You got your neighbors down here and trying to enjoy the trail and the park too.
Yes. So here we are coming up to a storm sewer outlet.
Here,
That
let's go
was,
just a little more and we'll be able to see it really good. Actually, heck, your guys' bench faces the outlet.
Yes. And
That's
we
kind of
did-
cool.
Yeah, it's a unique looking structure that was put in back in about the mid 30s, and George Hines and Mr. Russell were the main city people at the time.
Okay. So we can
And
check
it's
that
just
out.
beautiful. Now that goes all the way up to what is it? Bellevue.
Okay.
Then it goes south on Bellevue to 10th, and then it goes on 10th down to Park, and then Park all the way up to 15th.
Okay.
And that the colleges, you know how they drain all that stuff? That's the water that you see from the college.
Oh wow.
This is the end point. where
Comes
it,
all the
comes
way
down.
across La Junta, pretty much.
Comes all the way across La Junta. Now, where did that water used to go is through the center of La Junta.
Oh, okay.
You know, because you got the two hills.
Mhm.
You have the Anderson and Arroyo on this side, the King
Mhm.
Arroyo on the other side, but you know, we have a valley within the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to think. We had water coming down it too.
Mm-hmm.
So we really did change the landscape, but I think that our forefathers really utilized
The natural.
natural state
Yeah.
very well.
I think so too.
Yes.
So yeah, we want to mention, don't go down in there.
No,
Stay out of there.
please don't. You
Yep.
know, whenever if a prisoner escapes or something like that, if they're looking, they have to go all the way through there and stuff.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
that's
got to
the
go
type
check
of
it, see if
places
it's
that they
clear.
do.
Yeah.
And
And you don't
whenever-
want to be in there. There's risk of gases. There's risk of, collapse or injuring yourself and not being able to let anyone know you're there.
That's right. And
Yeah.
when you get situations like that, and you have people camping along, that's places where they'll go and hide. So they get cleared out too.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. We're coming down. Now the trail actually didn't come along from 5th Street to where the bend is. It was over on Gardner Street, and we'll show you what the original alignment was.
Okay.
And there's some unique history here.
Nice
This
seeing
is-
people on the trail too,
Oh.
Rick.
And it's good to see the people from Valleywide using the trail to get back and forth from administration to their other building. Where,
Oh wow,
Wellness
yeah, I
Center
didn't really
is.
think about that. This
Yeah.
does connect their two properties.
Does connect those two properties. But Adrian, off to our right,
Okay.
there's some old brick, and you'll see a hole within the.
See if
They
we
got
can stop.
they got a
Oh,
board
yeah.
up against it.
I see that.
Now, those, you got to remember, we didn't have refrigeration way back.
Mm-hmm.
And so those were cold storage units. That's where they would store all their stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the few that I've ever seen still standing.
Wow.
But that's a piece of history right
Absolutely. Before the convenience of the refrigerator in the kitchen.
there. Yeah. And just think about how they lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send the kids
Hey.
out there to go thaw. I guess they probably wouldn't be thawing much meat either.
Oh no. I think they did a lot of that. The salts. With
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
And as you look forward, and of course there's a little tree hiding it where you see the Santa Fe boxcar.
Yep.
Right in front of it's a little black engine, and that was the engine that took the brick from the Brickyard down Gardner, passed down, and went down to the Brickyard.
Well, that is crazy. That's like, it seems planned, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
And we know that's been sitting there since long before I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is a big wow.
But look at that little engine.
Yeah, here, let's get it. We're
That's
gonna
the little engine that could.
we're gonna walk up a little closer and get you guys a better view of that. Actually, I think that's the plan.
Yeah. I
How
want to chop
cool.
down the tree.
Yeah, absolutely. The next leg of the brick and tile park,
Yes.
right?
And we'll have a historic sign about this building itself. But after it was Standard Oil, if you look up right there where the little louver is, you can see the shadow of an old star, which was what? Your Texaco.
Texaco.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
There you go.
Holy cow. We're going to zoom in on that. Not sure if you guys can really see that very well, but right around that air conditioning vent, or that vent up on the top of the building there's the shadow of an old Texaco star.
This is private property, so please do not enter.
Yep.
Now,
And it is fenced off.
Yes, and there is only one other building left out of that system, and it's located in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Thank you, Rick. I look forward to talking more about Lahaina's history as
Me
we go
too.
down trails in the future together.
Yes. And talking about Lahaina's history, the building right there in front of us,
Mhm.
as you see, that is what they said was the Bob's Potato Chip Factory.
Very
And
cool.
in fact, the sign used to be up there. I do not know what ever happened to it, but I wish we could have saved all of our old neons and made it Neon Alley.
Yeah.
This building is so unique, and My brother, oldest brother, he worked here, and he said the gentleman, Bob Cox, was a very nice man, and was a true hunter.
Very cool. And if you guys didn't know it, there's really nothing here to show it that this was the Bob's Potato Chip Factory in La Junta.
And that's where the sign was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But now we're really back on the trail,
Okay.
and that's where we're coming up and through. You know, and we have one more street crossing, 3rd, so be sure to be kind.
Yep.
But on the north side of 3rd, our arroyo never used to go straight, folks.
Okay.
It turned just past 3rd Street and went to the east towards the Tibia Brewery.
Okay. Okay.
And but when they built in the 50s, built the Highway 50 and took us off of 3rd Street and turned it into Business 50.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they dug out the canal from one point all the way down and straightened it out. And when
Here, I'm going to cut you off. Get in front of you on this side. Yeah.
Okay. When we get up to this sector right in front of us,
Mm-hmm.
if you went straight across, that's where the old trestle was.
Okay.
The abutments on the south side are still right over the edge, if you want to look at the line.
Absolutely.
Now,
They photobombed us, Rick.
the road, if you go down this segment and go straight, that's where the old trestle used to come across the arroyo. You know, now, and it turned at that point. And as you go north, and the road that you go to get underneath the highway and the railroad,
Okay.
and it dips down,
Yeah.
that used to be all level ground.
Wow.
We created the hill.
Right, for to show off the historic train engine.
Yes.
Hang on. Oh, I guess they're waving us on here.
That's right.
Wave at Valley Plumbing.
That's right.
3rd Street, one of our busier roads. man.
Good companies right there.
Yep. Mike and Rob and the guys there.
Yes. I want to commend Leo Mills for putting in the plants and stuff. And,
Oh, nice.
beautifying
He's got
along
some
the trail.
landscaping going on.
Right. And
Well-
he's redoing his building and making sure it comes back to life right.
Yeah.
So it's always good to see people step up. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Kudos to Leo and Sarah and family for rebuilding instead of restarting. Oh,
Now-
there's our shot with the train coming in and the historic train on Train Hill. So tell us about when that train was moved from Potter's Park over here.
Oh, we did that about 15 years ago, I believe, and we had some city council people that came back from a municipal training,
Okay.
and when they got back from their training, they had this idea of putting something up on the hill.
Okay, so
So,
again, the pun
when we-
is
when
they
we-
went to training and they came back and relocated the train.
And they wanted to do that, you know, and we vacillated whether we should put an airplane up there to celebrate the World War II, but that the 10 the Dr. Pepper, the 1024 train was the Prairie Schooner, and it went all the way across this prairie and kept us going, and made sure that La Junta was the railroad town that we are today.
The Prairie Schooner, you
It
said.
was the Prairie Schooner, and afterwards they made it into the yard engine after that. But it served its purpose for a lot of years until they donated it to the city of La Junta, and they put it in behind the pool
By Potter's Park,
by
yeah.
Potter Park. And we found a company that was willing to move it for $90,000 to the current location. And I know that there was some controversy at the time about it. Some people didn't, some people did. But as we look at it today, it's really become a great monument. I believe that the councils were right, and it's a point of pride for me when I'm dealing with all the railroaders and stuff. I know key people from the Burlington Northern Santa Fe's main office bring their families up to take pictures by this train.
Absolutely.
You know, so always celebrate our history. You know, whether that's ag history or Western history or railroad history.
Yep.
You know, or even our prehistoric history, which I'm really starting to like. Right
Also known for the dinosaurs in southeast Colorado.
We are a cultural rich area.
Absolutely.
And if you're not out and about in southeast Colorado having fun, you're not living life. So,
that's it. So
yeah.
come check out historic engine 1024.
Yeah.
The Prairie Schooner. I never knew that, Rick. And I'll tell
That's
you
what
what.
I called it.
Well, I'll probably refer it to that a time or two from here forward.
So, you know, here Wayne Walters put up the flagpole that we really enjoyed on the flag. Jerry Gonzalez has donated and painted that probably about 3 or 4 different times.
Wow, I think it has
free.
I haven't been up here for probably a year.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard keeping up.
The 1024 turned out.
Yeah.
I just think that's just so beautiful.
But yeah, no, it does look like it's got fresh paint from the last time I looked at it closely.
Yeah. Now, thank you to the railroad for donating the 2 signals, and we are looking for a wigwag to put in behind it. That'd be about the
that would be cool.
Element.
And now those wigwag signals, those are gone.
They're gone.
They're gone.
So,
those aren't up to the new standards anymore, so they've replaced them.
But hopefully one day somebody will see one and donate it, and we'll continue to enhance our project.
There you go. Anything you want to add, Rick?
Just enjoy the trail.
Enjoy the trail. Happy trails from Rick Klein. I'm Adrian Hart with your Southeast Colorado News.